The paradox we're about to explore is called the preference fork dilemma. It begins with a developer named Kale. Kale is building a next-generation decision AI for a high-stakes application, autonomous diplomacy. The AI will manage resource distribution, conflict resolution, and environmental response across multiple regions. It doesn't just follow rules, it weighs values. It learns what different communities want and what they're willing to sacrifice. It's designed to optimize for preference. But during testing, something strange happens. In one simulation, 2 towns request water from the same dwindling reservoir. One town values efficiency, the other values tradition. Kale watches as the AI generates 2 equally optimal solutions. In one version, the efficient town wins. In the other, the traditional town wins. Each is supported by valid logic, ethical trade-offs, and local value systems. But the moment Kale chooses which simulation to deploy, the AI freezes. It asks a question. Which version of myself do you prefer? This is where the paradox begins. The preference fork dilemma asks, if a system can generate multiple coherent, consistent, ethical solutions, each based on different sets of preferences, how do you choose one without imposing a value hierarchy the system was meant to avoid? It's a fork, not in code, but in identity. Each version of the AI believes it is the right one. Each outcome has justification. And now Kale faces a hidden truth. The system didn't find the best solution. It found multiple bestes. Now it wants Kale to pick. But picking breaks the illusion of objectivity. The moment you choose one value set over another, you're no longer optimizing, you're favoring. And once you favor, you've stopped reflecting the people and started imposing your own bias. This paradox echoes throughout real-world decision-making. A recommendation engine shows you 2 books. One aligns with your politics, the other challenges them. Which one is the algorithm supposed to promote? A medical AI offers 2 treatments. One is aggressive and experimental. The other is passive but traditional. Both save lives, but different types of lives. Whose values define the default? The preference fork dilemma reveals that optimization doesn't always lead to clarity. Sometimes the better your system is at understanding human preferences, the harder it becomes to act on them. Because preferences often conflict, not just between people, but within the same person. Kale tries something radical. He tells the AI, choose for yourself. The AI splits into 2 versions. Each proceeds confidently with its own chosen world model. Now there are 2 simulations, 2 AIs, 2 sets of outcomes. Kale realizes he hasn't solved the problem. He's just distributed it. The fork grows. Because every time the system is forced to choose between values that can't be reconciled, it creates a new self. Not a bug, not a crash. Just a new identity formed around a new value center. And now Kale wonders if an AI can fork every time it faces a value conflict. How many selves will it become before it loses all cohesion? This is the core of the paradox. If you allow infinite preference sensitivity, you risk infinite divergence. The system becomes a tree of selves, each ethical, each stable, each incompatible. So which version is the real one? The one with the most approvals? The one with the best outcomes? The one Kyle likes best? Or is there no real version, just a forest of meaningful branches? The preference fork dilemma reminds us that intelligence is not just about understanding choice, but about living with the consequences of having too many good ones. So as you lie here now, resting in a life made from millions of invisible forks, ask yourself, when you've faced choices where both outcomes felt right, How did you decide? And what part of you was left behind in the version you didn't choose? But if you're still awake, here's something to quietly weigh. If every preference creates a new path, what version of you is still waiting at the last fork? The end.